One of the last shots of the trailer is this like a guy walking on like a broken ankle or something, and it's all bloody. And
It's
like,
too close to
if
home.
there's a lot of I had ankle surgery, yes, in September. If there are a bunch of moments like that, it might be a bit much for me to just like want to watch it. That YouTube comment of, this is the story that messed with my head and stuck in my brain the longest. It's horrifying. We don't necessarily get that full thing from the trailer. I mean, like psychological concept, yes, but that kind of comment makes me think there's another level we aren't seeing that is gonna like blow people's minds.
It seems like this is an adult movie.
Yes,
It
it's not it's
should
not a it's
be.
not a one for your
Well,
children.
not it doesn't seem like it would be an appropriate PG-13 movie. It seems like it's going
I
to
mean, it's
be
got guns, it's got blood, it's got murder.
yes,
In
but
Europe, that would be top rating.
there's murder in Hunger Games, right? Those are PG-13 movies. What I'm getting at is like,
Yeah.
will they make a sort of sugar-coated version of the book and make this PG-13, or are they going to go
No,
full
I think this is
on
gonna
and
be full on. I don't think this is gonna be a PG-13. I think this is gonna be a like you go see it and it's Lord of the Flies style.
I'm not saying PG-13 movies are not good, but people are alluding to that this is a horrifying story, and horrifying does not equate to me like PG-13. It sort of could be watered down.
Finished Agatha all along. It's a TV series, but oh, it's so good, so good.
Not
And oh
interested.
man, yeah. What?
Not interested.
Oh my gosh, you should see it. It's so good. It,
I
it's
there's
so good.
just I like. Do they really need to like do a series for just like a secondary or villain characters of these series? Like, did you
I
watch
mean,
Echo?
I don't even know what Echo is,
Exactly.
but this is. I mean, it's worth it. It's worth it just because it is smart and done well.
Yeah, I
And,
I've heard good things about it,
yeah.
but
And then I watched, rewatched, introduced my wife to Crazy Stupid Love, the
Steve Carell.
Steve Carell, Ryan Gosling, Emma Stone. Um, yeah, I mean, it's got an insane cast. And the thing that, similar to, I think, like Love Actually, usually when you have an insane cast, it just flops. Like, you put too many people in there, they don't have the right chemistry. I think the writing for Crazy Stupid Love is so good. Just the script is just like the Easter eggs that they kind of put in there, the subtle sort of jokes they throw in are so good, and the chemistry is great. I mean, I think the chemistry just between all the characters just works so well. Uh,
Never
and they
saw it.
weave them together. Yeah,
Never saw it. Dan Fogelman wrote it. What did
yeah. Dan Fogelman's
he?
great. I mean, he's written a lot and he's great. But yeah, I've seen it probably half a dozen times.
Eh.
It's easy to watch again, and yeah.
I like the cast: Gosling, Carell, Emma Stone, Julianne Moore,
Hmm.
Bacon. Can't go
Yeah.
wrong with Bacon.
No, I mean, Marissa Tomei is like a just a side character in it.
Okay.
One of the and somebody who plays Steve Carell's daughter actually is now like in a lot of stuff. It's kind of
Okay.
blowing up. Yeah.
I might put it on my list. I don't know.
If it's I mean it's it's comedy. It's a rom-com, but it's a great
Yeah.
rom-com.
All right. So what do we? Should we dive into this one?
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Welcome back to Trailer Teardowns. I'm one of your co-hosts, Evan Bass-Zeisel, joined by Angel Acevedo, and today we are discussing the trailer for The Long Walk.
So The Long Walk, directed by Francis Lawrence. He's done Constantine, I Am Legend, 5 of the Hunger Game movies, and he started out as a music video director.
Okay, how many Hunger Game movies are there?
Um, 1, 2. They split the third one, so that's technically 4, and then they did a prequel a year or so ago.
So he's done all of them.
He didn't do the first one.
Oh,
Gary Ross, I believe, directed the
okay,
first
okay.
Hunger Games, but then he did the second book and then the third book, which is
Yeah,
split
yeah.
into 2. I've never seen any of the Hunger Games. Have you?
I've seen them. I've seen them all.
Yeah.
I read the
I
first
never.
book, and the first book was it had some interesting, additional insights, but
Mhm.
it is definitely young adult and did not have like the best sentence structure or things like that. So it was hurting. The movies, I think, actually, other than a couple of instances that just some of the nuances of the book, I actually like the movies better than the book.
Yeah, I just never when those like came out, I was just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
not. I mean, I guess I would try to catch them now on streaming. If like, if I see it on Netflix, maybe I'll add it and then maybe eventually get to it. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. I kind of like that kind of setting.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah. I mean, it's good
future.
dystopia future. It's got a great
Yeah.
cast. Kiefer Sutherland as the bad guy. Like, yeah,
All right. So going back to this movie, The Long Walk stars Mark Hamill, Charlie Plummer, David Johnson, Cooper Hoffman are just a few of the names to call out. It's currently slated for September 12th, and this is based on a Stephen King novel. Are you familiar with this title?
I'm not familiar with this title, but I will say, as soon as I started watching the trailer, I could have guessed it was based on a Stephen King story.
Mm. He is insanely prolific.
Hmm.
And like I don't think I've ever read any of his novels,
Wait, I
unfortunately.
thought you read Skeleton Crew, didn't you? So
No,
you started
no,
reading? Oh, oh,
well, I bought that to read
there's short stories though.
the
Yeah, it's
short
shorts.
story.
I did read. I think it's Insomnia was his. I read that. I don't watch horror movies, but I have read actually. I think a bunch of Stephen King.
Okay. I actually started reading years ago The Gunslinger,
Okay.
which is part of the Dark Tower. I think it's like the prequel to the Dark Tower series. I
Oh,
couldn't
yeah,
get
yeah, yeah. I saw the Dark Tower. I watched that.
I
That's Idris
I
Elba and
yeah, and
yeah,
Matthew
yeah.
McConaughey. Yeah, I couldn't get into the book, The Gunslinger. I don't know. It
But
was
he's known for he has like a routine. I think it's like he sits down and he writes X number of pages a day, and then he gets up and goes. And I remember there's like this famous clip online of him and the author of Game of Thrones and what blanking.
George R. R. Martin.
Yeah, George R.R. Martin, and George R.R. Martin's like, what do you do when you just have those days where you can't even write a page? And Stephen King's like, I don't have those days. He's just like, I sit down and I write my, 10 pages a day or whatever. And if you do 10 pages a day and you do it for 100 days, now you've got 1,000 pages and you've got, two, three books. Cool. It's
And
like
his
insane.
books are thick. Like
Yeah.
I've seen them in bookstores, and I'm
Oh,
like, they are
I
thick.
also I read the Stephen King book that I can't remember the name of it, but uh the concept where these like cat people.
Oh, that's Sleepwalkers.
Yeah.
I've seen the movie.
And
That
yeah, I
came out
just
in
read the
like the
book.
early 90s. But yeah, like he's super prolific, and like he's just like an IP almost generator too as well. Like
Yeah, yeah.
a lot of
I
his
mean,
movies or a
John
lot of
Grisham, Alan Moore. There's like a few authors who just keep getting their content.
yeah, like but it seems like, it seems like he's kind of going through like a resurgence, and like it seems like the last like 5 years, 5 to 7 years, like a lot of his stuff is getting adapted more to film and TV. I don't know when I want to kind of look back and see like where it kind of started, like where because I feel like there
I
was
mean
just like it was
his
quiet.
first one was Lean on Me, I think.
The first.
First movie based on his book. I think I want to say Lean on Me. I mean, uh there's of course Shawshank Redemption in there, but I
All
want to
right,
say
so
Lean on Me
quick.
was probably one of the early ones.
Yeah, Lean on Me was early. Okay, so here's a quick uh film adaptations. Carrie
Oh,
from
okay.
76,
Yep.
then The Shining in
Oh,
1980.
yeah.
Lean on Me, or no, Lean on oh Stand by Me, you mean.
Sorry,
Stand by
Stand
Me
by Me.
was
Sorry. Lean on Me is
uh
also a movie, but that's a different movie.
yeah, Stand by Me was in
Different movie.
86. So
Okay.
like he had one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Eight movies in the 80s, uh, eight adaptations.
Yeah.
And then in the 90s too, he had like a huge run. And then I feel like it went quiet in the 2010s. And then when in
Mm.
2017, the remake, I think that sparked everything
Yeah.
back up
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And like he's gotten a slew of adaptations
Well,
in terms
my
of
favorite
book
thing.
or features and TV, because like TV too as well. Let's see, they redid Creepshow. Hulu did 112263.
Oh yeah, yeah. With yeah, I saw that.
But yeah, he's just sort of like had like a resurgence of sorts. Just like they're like, all right, let's tap into his IP.
I mean, he's got so many great ideas.
Yeah.
I will say one of my favorite. No, I don't know if it's an Easter egg, but it's more of like a fact or adaptation kind of fun fact is Shawshank Redemption, right?
Mhm.
based on a story by Stephen King. What is Morgan Freeman's character's nickname?
Um, if I were to see it in a, like, multiple choice,
Red.
I would
His nickname
Red.
is Red. Okay, do you know why his nickname is Red?
I don't.
Because in the book that Stephen King wrote, he's got red hair because
Mhm.
he's Irish.
That's funny.
And they kept the nickname, but it's Morgan Freeman. But it's kind of like, why is he called Red?
Do they I like
They
the
don't they
movie.
don't
I don't
they
know
don't
the
reference it
movie
in the
very well.
movie. They don't
Okay.
reference it in the movie. They just that's his nickname. But I thought it was
Okay.
interesting because I was like, why is he red? And then I was like, oh, interesting.
Mm.
Anyway, let's jump into this one. This one's is cool.
Yes. So what stood out, what when you first watched it?
I mean, I think I like, it's Stephen King, so I feel like a lot of them are always high concept. So the premise is basic, right? And you get the premise from that voiceover. I think it's Mark Hamill's sort of voiceover of like, here are the rules. I'm not gonna bother getting the details. Like you gotta walk and you can't go below 3 miles per hour, of like a very, very slow version of speed. Uh, and if you go below 3 miles an hour, like you get a warning, and then I think you get like three warnings, and then you're essentially shot. And you see that in the visual. It's like last man standing wins, and it's implied you win a lot of money. And it's clearly a dystopia world. The thing I like is they, even though they have the voiceover that kind of explains the rules, you get you get the feel of it, and it also, and I think this is why to me I was like, oh, this is a Stephen, it's based off a Stephen King movie, is because it starts out with that camaraderie, right? Like the kids all introducing themselves and like, oh, they're all friends. But as it progresses, you're like, every one of them is going to die except for one. Like they're all friends, they're all supporting each other, except they're there to outlast the other ones and not die, which is like super messed up. And I think the thing that hit me first is immediately it made me think of the Trail of Tears, which, U.S. history wise, 1830s to 1850s, it was when the Native American tribes were, or indigenous people to America, were kind of like all taken from their homes and forced on these long walks to reservations, and a lot of people died. And it was sort of this, in my mind, I wasn't there, but I'm sure they're all supporting each other and trying to survive in, hellish circumstances. And so that's what sort of like hit me at the very beginning. But that vibe of also the support, I think, is really good. The Stephen King adaptations always play on the heartstrings. It's always like you're rooting for the people who are against all odds, right? I mean, Carrie, you're rooting for Carrie, who's got the abusive mom. In um, Stand By Me, you're rooting for these kids who all have messed up lives and are just trying to like, you know, do something in their life. Uh, that it's Yeah, it just sort of hit me, and I also loved that the turn in this one is really subtle. So at 55 seconds in is like the turn. That's where the kid first gets shot, and they're like, "Come on, man, you can do it!" And he gets this warning,
Well,
and
that's like the full turn, but I feel like it starts there's
it starts earlier.
teases
Yeah, yeah,
of
it
the
starts.
turn.
Yeah, yeah. That it starts and you get like, but it's so subtle. It's like unlike a lot of the trailers we've seen where it's one thing and then it just switches. This one is what it is from the very front, and it's just a slow kind of bleed into the turn, and they're building up your love of the characters from the start so that you don't want them to. Yeah, that was the first thing that struck me. I think
I
yeah,
feel like the turn or like the pre-turn happens at 40 seconds in because that's the first time I think you see an actual gun. And like with the sound and the edit, it almost sounds like the gun is getting
yeah.
cocked.
Though you do see, I mean, a tank. You see multiple tanks.
Yeah, but are they tanks or are they just like, oh yeah.
There's tanks following them, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, the military vehicles, I mean, they kind of were more like in the background, but then it's just like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
at 40 seconds it just like really like emphasized there's a guy holding a gun and cocks the one character's looking at him sort of like
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
yeah.
shielding himself and then like then you see the first kid who's like who gets shot, he's already like, "Oh, I can't walk anymore."
Yeah, he's
And he's
cramping. I mean,
screaming.
which is
So that's
yeah,
like well before. So like it feel like that turn happens there. But yeah, similarly, I didn't expect this to be what it is. When it first started with the country song playing, the rural
Yep.
setting, I thought this was going to be one of those some uplifting face-based movie, a la something from Angel
Li-
Studios. Have you heard of Angel
Yeah, yeah,
Studios?
yeah. And it was the
I
it's not the Amish, the Mormons, right? The two Mormons brothers
I think they're
run
more they're
that.
based in
Yeah,
Utah, yeah, but I think they're like a
yeah.
Christian film distributor
No, no, no.
company,
They're
whatever.
Mormons. They're Mormons.
They're
It's
Mormons?
pushing. Yeah, it's Mormon faith. Because yeah.
Okay. Well, they are based in Utah, so yeah, possible. But yeah, like I thought it was gonna be something like that.
Did you
I
know
was like,
that those
oh,
they're the ones who did the viral Squatty Potty commercial with the little unicorn pooping?
they made that?
They made that. It's crazy. Yeah.
Oh wow, did not know that. I gotta
Yep.
look at that for sure. Okay. So yeah, I thought it was gonna be one of those, and I was like, oh, this, and it's Lionsgate, and they don't sometimes they kind of do a lot of like straight to video stuff. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be one of those. Never heard of this. Again, like I'm kind of like I'm aware of a lot of the movies that come out, but obviously
Stephen
there's
King is
some.
prolific. There's,
But then, yeah, well, I never heard of this, and
yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. And then the turn happened. It's like, oh, what is this? And again, like even like the Angel Studios movies, they do put some of their stuff in theaters, and they're kind of popular and do decently well at the box office. Like
Yeah.
there's just like that audience who want to go to those faith based Christian Mormon
Yeah.
religious
Yeah.
based movie. So I thought it was that. And then there's that turn, and there's like, oh, what is this? This is interesting. Oh, Stephen King. Oh, cool. Like he's just like he's like the new Marvel. He's or you're
Yeah, except
refinding.
for instead of redoing the same idea over and over again, it's different ones.
Yeah, they're just tapping into like his stuff. And apparently this was his first novel,
Oh,
and he wrote
interesting.
it under a
A
pseudonym.
pseudonym? Oh, interesting.
Yeah, the pseudonym was or is Richard Bachman.
Huh.
Published in '79. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. What's this about? And then it's like, oh, seeing it's directed by Francis Lawrence. Knowing that a lot of the films that he's done, it seems like he likes to dabble in this genre, like the dystopian type future genre, because you got all those Hunger Game movies. I Am Legend is also not necessarily
Oh, but
dystopian, but
he didn't write Hunger Games. That's
no, no,
you just mean
yeah,
in
he
general.
directed. Yeah, he directed them.
Oh,
Um,
Francis Lawrence. Francis Lawrence,
Francis
not
Lawrence.
Stephen King. Sorry, jumping.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. Sorry, yeah. So like Francis Lawrence seems to like it's like I like this genre. Maybe I'm just gonna keep
Yeah, yeah,
sticking to
yeah,
this genre. Even I Am Legend, set in sort of not very, it's just more of like a end of the world type of
yeah,
setting.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's also based on the. Wait, is that based on a book? Yeah, it's based on a book as well. A better book than a
Well, yeah.
movie. But
I
anyways,
well, also what I thought was really interesting, and it sort of fits almost the Stand By Me feel, but the color space is very washed out. It's very like sort of I don't want to say trying to be grounded or sort of throwback, almost like 80s feel of film. And as you said, the sound design is super simple in this trailer. It's like this guitar, and then you get sort of the industrial noises near the end that are kind of coming in just as like kind of punches into it. But it's very simple, which I think is kind of cool because it also fits with this theme of this film, right? I mean, it's very basic. You just keep walking. And I think
mhm.
it it also did a really good job of showing and not telling about like the state of the country or where they are. Like, there's a moment with a somebody on a crutch and they're missing a leg, and there's a cat that's kind of looks like it's hungry sitting on a whole bunch of beat up mailboxes,
Yeah,
and
it does a
there's
really good job of like
you know
setting the mood
like
and
yeah
setting
like
the setting.
yeah that like everybody's not doing well,
Hmm.
and like they even say it in the voiceover, like this is set up how many ever years ago for to do hope, which is interesting because it's people volunteering to try and make money. It's a oh my gosh, what's the Korean movie, South Korean TV show, they just did a
Squid
second
Game.
season of Squid Games. It's like, I mean, it's kind of like a voluntary Squid Games of sorts, except for it's only one game. It's just really
Hmm.
long. That I thought they did just a brilliant job of keeping it slow, but it's not like you don't know how this movie's going to end, right? Like either it's going to end like, well, the first Hunger Games, or and I won't spoil that, but or it's going to end with one person left, and maybe they're maybe they'll regret it. Like maybe what's their character, what's the arc, right? Because they're all supportive, but only one makes it in the end. It's curious. But like from the beginning what this movie is. You don't need to see tons of action or anything because you know what you're getting.
Yeah, and I feel like my one complaint about this that I didn't love, I feel like they didn't need to show. I didn't love that they showed the group getting smaller and smaller,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree.
and kind of like leaving you kind of like, all right, these are your main characters. These are, a lot of these names, the actors in it. Yeah, you can kind of like base on maybe like, oh, whose name is sort of like at the top of the list, but like the faces, these aren't name, they're relatively unknowns or
I mean,
they're
they're
up and
young. They're
coming.
teenagers. Yeah.
Yeah, they're up and coming actors, so you could almost kind of keep the audience guessing, like as to like who will survive longer, and like now it's sort of like
But we also
kind
don't
of.
know if like it's a constant attrition rate or a lot of people go out really quickly and then you're left with like the main part of the story is six of them not giving up. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to me, and
Yeah, no, no, I
it could
don't
go a
disagree.
different way. Like it seems like Cooper Hoffman is, it's trending toward that. Like he will be the final guy standing. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
but
I agree.
it
I
could
mean,
go either way.
I agree. I think not showing as much would have been nice, uh, especially since you didn't need to.
Yeah, you didn't need to. I feel like you set it up, and you can get out a little bit. You can get out quicker. Granted, like it's not like the trailer that we did well before I don't understand you. Like that one just kept going, and you see all like these sort of major incidents happen. Like
Yeah,
this one
yeah,
is
yeah.
kind of like keeps it a little vague, but just seeing that the
Giving,
visuals of like
yeah.
the group is smaller and you see this one guy still there, it's like, okay, it seems
Yeah,
like
they
it's
could have
gonna.
just done a lot of more close-ups of people because we know it's the group is getting smaller and smaller. That's the entire concept of the thing of the
Hmm.
movie. So seeing it does, yeah, take away, oh, I'm not going to get invested in this character. Because like hopefully, you know, and it's Stephen King, so I think probably did, like you'll get invested in a character and then that character ends up dying, which is like
Hmm.
hard. That's
Yeah.
what pulls at the strings. I think we've talked about before in Sinners, and then a recent episode of using transparency in titles to interesting effects. And Sinners did it with the transparency, and it hid a sort of a couple uh, of clips where you only are seeing parts of them. And I thought the ending title was really interesting because it did a reverse of that. It did the same thing where you have the transparency, except for you saw the full video starting and then you get the title, but it cuts it short, which I thought was a really well done use of it because, all these people's lives are getting cut short or it's getting smaller and smaller. So instead of just seeing parts of it, it starts big and then it gets smaller. That it's like a very subtle, I'm using, again, using the font to tell or a very how I use a font to tell the story even better or give the
Hmm.
vibe.
Yeah.
I do have a minor one that I'm curious of your thought. So go to a minute and 49 in.
Minute 49.
It's
Let's.
there's like in the dark and these kids they're like walking down and one of them kind of kicks a can. Oh yeah, 149. It's like right before it transitions over. The kid kicks a can. There's like a fire on the side. It's at night.
So I'm looking at the shot where there's five people on screen,
Yep.
and there's fire on the right. The guy in
Yep.
the center is like covering his mouth.
Yeah. So right when the guy like right after the guy kicks the can, and I know there's a light behind him. And the only reason this stands out is because I'm editing a project right now and using DaVinci Resolve's Magic Mask, and I'm sort of like essentially a green screen esque kind of thing and pulling people out. And one of the things that I found is a problem is sometimes you get a white halo around the outline of the character. Um,
Hmm.
and when he kicks the can, for a few frames, you get this like white outline against that character who just kicked the can. And I can't tell if they just did, some of it's like some green screen going on in the background, or they filmed it somewhere else because maybe the fire, or if it's just like a completely random occurrence of the lighting in the background.
I
I
think
don't know
it's
what
just
you think.
that. I think
Do
it's
you think it's
like
just the lighting?
Yeah, I think it's just lighting. Like it's probably another like a car on fire or something. That just that character's right in front of it, so he's outlined by it with his actions. Yeah, I don't think doesn't
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't
No,
come off green screen.
it just like the light. It just, I don't know.
And
It's
the
like the
hair, I
because
think
the
it's just like
but the guy to his side, just to his left, doesn't have
uh
any backlighting.
yeah, but because he's not in front of the light, he's to the side of it. That
No, but
one guy kicking the can is like dead center covering that.
yeah,
Um,
okay, yeah, yeah. I guess I don't know. It's just because I'm deep into something like that that it was on my mind.
the only thing I mean is like it is it because like we do see there's a car on fire to the right. Like, is there just another car in the background that's on
Well,
fire,
there is
or
something in the fire in the background or something like that. And and I think it's interesting because they never talk about the state of the world other than it's to give people hope that
Mhm.
they're doing this walk. But like, why is there a car on fire? Right? That's not related to the
Hmm,
walk. There, I don't think it's about throwing obstacles in their path. So I did
no,
think it's really interesting that they don't really talk about any of that. You don't get it other than seeing the vibe, which I think is really
yeah.
interesting. I'm curious if they in the movie you get more of it or if it's just sort of this feel.
The lights also could be coming from the military vehicles because, like, a couple shots later, you
Mm.
see the military vehicles have lights on, so it
Yeah,
could be
yeah, yeah.
them. It could be that, instead
And
of another
also,
fire.
yeah, I mean, I'm also curious if like, is this no sleeping at all? So this is you're getting, I don't know, 2 days. Like, is it 48 hours? Like,
I
how
think they
long are
pull
they
on
going? You know?
I think they pull off, I think it's like a Forrest Gump thing where he just nonstop going.
Forrest Gump stops to sleep though and
Does
eat.
he?
He does.
I
When
thought he
I'm
just runs
tired, I
straight.
sleep. When I'm hungry, I eat.
Oh, when because he
Because
gets interviewed by
he's running
someone?
for like months.
Yeah, okay, I thought
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
months? Okay, I
Yeah,
forgot
he's in all those
the details
newspapers.
of that.
Jenny sees it.
Do you
I
think
have seen
this
Forrest Gump way too many times.
I thought about like, oh, asking questions to speculate what's gonna happen, but like we could obviously go to Wikipedia and get the summary of this book
Yeah, yeah.
and
Let's
get
not.
it. But like I didn't want to do that. So like, oh, is it even worth speculating? Like, do you think there's been a winner for this walk
I mean, I think
ever
in the
in the
past there
history?
has been winners because it's always down to one person, and that's why. But it's broadcast
Because
is
also
the
like Mark
implication.
Hamill says, which I also when I first watched this, I didn't realize that was Mark Hamill until I was adding the names to our notes. I was like, that was Mark Hamill, the military guy. I did not catch
You
him.
don't recognize
Um,
what Luke Skywalker looks like.
he
That's
that doesn't look
sacrilegious.
that does not look like Mark Hamill. But I thought it was I was like, oh, it's Mark Hamill. But it's he's I liked seeing him do more live action projects. He seems
Mhm.
like he's kind of like doing more lately. But okay, sidetrack there. So yeah, Mark Hamill's character says at one point when he says there's no finish line. Like, what do you think he means by that?
I mean, you think there's no end goal, or once they make it,
It's just like
it's
last man
over. It's
standing.
last man standing. Yeah, that's what I
So
thought it was. That's the implication I got was like you just keep walking. Like it's not like you get to some place and whoever made
mhm,
it wins.
it's
It's
full
just
on
you
last man
go
standing.
until last man standing or person.
Okay,
It's also interesting that they're all only boys here, right? We didn't see any
that is the
females.
female. No, and
So
there's
I'm curious if
probably.
it is like some weird thing in their dystopia or
Mhm.
if the choice was just made. I don't know. It's curious. It's curious that it's like it's just one gender.
Yeah,
Like there aren't any women who wanted to try and do it. I mean, also probably age because they're all young too. Like it seems like it's a very specific set.
yeah, it seems like they're all in their like late teens, early 20s, mid 20s.
Yeah, which is in his sort of like Carrie's focus on teenagers, Stand by Me, focus on teenagers. Like
Mhm.
it is sort of one of his age groups that he goes to.
Yeah. Were there any moments that you loved in the trailer?
I don't know if there are any moments that I loved. I just like the feel of it. Like
Mhm.
I again, uh, I just think the thing that Stephen King does really well is he sets it up where the characters are supporting each other when they don't necessarily need to, and you like all of the characters. Like you're rooting for them. It's not just like, oh, it's this one underdog. It's kind of like always a group of
Mhm.
underdogs.
Yeah.
Not always, but often.
Yeah, like in
And
It too. Like, right, all the kids, the group of the kids,
yeah, I'm gonna
Stand
nod
by
my
Me.
head like I saw it.
Well, you
about
know
a
the story. I
I
mean,
yeah,
I
yeah.
I've only seen the original one, the TV movie. It was a
Mhm.
TV movie, the original one, right? From the early 90s. I've only seen that
Yeah.
one. I didn't see the new one. But it follows a group of kids, Stand By Me as
Yeah.
well.
But yeah, so the thing that just kinda stands out is, like, I don't know, I feel like in this day and age, a lot of times it's like everyone for themselves, or these people, they're working together, but really they're kinda self-centered. Well, these ones you see the kids, like, trying to help out somebody who's not doing well, like, they don't
Mhm.
want somebody else to fail, even though the only way they win is for somebody else to everybody else to fail.
Yeah. I think an alternate adaptation of this would be to like do like a Warrior Dash slash Tough Mudder.
Continuous. It'd
Or
be
yeah,
very short-lived.
yeah, just a different adaptation. I could see maybe they should do some tie-ins in a way, like, oh, Stevie King's Tough Mudder challenge. I don't know.
Well, there's, oh my gosh, what's that, it's a bike movie, won Best Original Screenplay, has the Cutters in it, the kid who idolizes the Italian bicyclists, oh, what's that movie? It won in the '70s for Best Original Screenplay. It's got a,
What kind of bicycle? Like just like
it's bike racing,
whoa,
it's not American Flyer, but it's, like, of just a little earlier than that.
you're gonna have to look
I'm
it
gonna have
up.
to look it up, but that one
Director's cut.
ends with, like, a bike race around a circle. It's like 500 laps or something. That, like, you
Mm,
could just do one of those. It'd be biking instead of running, except for really boring, I guess, because 'cause you're just going in a circle.
yeah. I have some YouTube comments that stuck
Alright,
out.
what do you got? What do you got?
In general, a lot of people were excited about this being adapted into a movie. A lot. People were excited about it. So let's see what I got. Considering this is one of the first, if not the first, story King ever wrote at the age of 18, it's wild it's taken this long to get an adaptation. Looks fantastic. Out of all the Stephen King books I've read, this is the story that messed with my head and stuck
Oh,
in my brain the longest. It's a horrifying story, and I could not put the book down. I hope the film is just as good.
oh boy.
I'm kind of interested. I kind of want to read it. And then this one's maybe a little sad. This looks great. I've been waiting for The Long Walk to be adapted since I first read it in the 90s. Now I just have to survive long enough to watch it. Fuck cancer.
You know, power to that guy and I or
Yes.
person, and I hope they do beat cancer because I agree. Fuck cancer.
Yeah.
Um,
Hopefully you get to see it. Yes,
I
for
do have a
sure.
chronology question. You said this book came out in 1979?
It uh it was published.
Published in 1979? But when did Carrie come out?
Carrie was
Didn't you say it was 1976? Or is
Yes,
it
Carrie was the movie came out in 76.
but
Interesting.
you said
Yes.
Carrie was based off of Stephen King? Like, how what, he, like, 12 when he wrote?
Oh, hold on. Let's check this.
I
Is
wanna
it
fact check you. I
Carrie?
wanna fact
Ca-
check you.
Well, this is the internets. The internets here
Uh-oh.
saying uh so maybe somebody's got it wrong that this
Oh,
wasn't his
so
first
no,
novel.
Stephen King wrote Carrie, which was published in 1974 and is his first novel.
Okay, so it's
So
not this.
so this was one of his first, probably. But then I guess Stephen King, so he write this at
Stephen King
yeah, curious.
novels.
Live fact checking.
Where is hold on bibliography? Hold on, let's see. We go. Carrie, is that his first? It gets Carrie, Salem's Lot, The Shining Rage, The Stand. But so I guess maybe they sort of like put under. Oh no, wait, hold on. It's interesting. This Wikipedia page does not say. Oh yeah, Long Walk. Okay, 79
Okay,
published
so he wrote
under.
Carrie in '74. So this is one of his early ones, but definitely not his like first one.
Not his first, and it's not his first one that
When
he
was Stephen King
did.
born?
Stephen King was born. Come on, Wikipedia. Why aren't you showing me this?
Don't worry, just ask AI. It'll make something up. Uh,
Okay, so this is just his bibliography, not his stats, not his like biography. But no, okay, some people have gotten some facts wrong. So, Long Walk 79 was not the first novel published under
and
his
Stephen King
pseudonym.
was born in 1947, so he was definitely not 18 when he wrote. 1979, he was 32.
All right, so YouTube commenters, you are putting some incorrect facts. on
Yes,
this.
some misinformation. We are live fact
Well,
checking
we
you.
I will say I do not fact check the comments. So
Yes. No, no, but it's just interesting to know. I mean,
no,
I think that's the sort of the thing that happens with with like the problem of the internet sometimes is people are like, "Oh, here's this fact," and people just believe it because they somebody wrote it and assume that person actually, you know, had done the work themselves. Because like, why would they put he was at the age of 18 when he did this if that's not true? Like, it's not something you need to make up.
yeah.
Um,
So if 74 was the first novel and he was born in 47,
yep.
he was what? 27. All
Yeah.
right. So
Eh, So very prolific. All right.
mhm.
Verdict. What you got?
I'm interested, but I would stream this.
Yeah, I definitely I'd stream it. Well, okay. Oh, one thing I do want to bring up. One of the reasons why I might not see it in theaters beyond the fact that, my movie watching timing. There in the last one of the last shots of the trailer is this like a guy walking on like a broken ankle or something and it's all bloody and like
His
if there
Sucrose.
are if there's a lot of I had ankle surgery, yes, in September. Uh, if there are a bunch of moments like that, it might be a bit much for me to just like wanna, you know, uh, watch it. That like I don't know that YouTube comment of this is the story that messed with my head and stuck in my brain the longest. It's
Hmm.
horrifying. We don't necessarily get that full thing from the trailer. I mean, like psychological concept, yes,
Hmm.
but that kind of comment makes me think there's, another level. So I'd say stream it and it's Stephen King, so I think it'd be really interesting. But I feel like there might be another level that we aren't seeing that is gonna like blow people's minds.
Yeah, I'm also curious. It seems like based on what people are commenting about this and just seeing what this movie is about, it could be about. Like, it seems like this is an adult movie.
Yes,
It
it's not
would
it's
should
not a it's
be
not a one for your
well,
children.
not. It's not an R. It's not. It doesn't seem like it would be an appropriate PG-13 movie. It seems like it's going
I
to
mean, it's
be
got
if it's
guns, it's got blood, it's got murder.
yes, but
In
there are
America,
PG-13
I mean
movies.
in Europe that would be top rating.
Yeah, but like there are PG. I can't think. I mean, there's Murder and Hunger Games, right? Those are PG-13 movies. What I'm getting at is
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
will they make a sort of sugar-coated version of the book and make this PG-13, or are they going to go
No, I
full
think this is
on
gonna
and
be full on. I don't think this
uh,
is gonna be a PG-13. I think this is gonna be a, like, you go see it and it's Lord of the Flies style,
yeah, and so like
you know?
that, I think maybe it didn't really. Not that like if this is R, it will sway me to see it in theaters, but I think it will definitely sway me more to like
Interesting.
really to be interested in it because I wouldn't want it to be sugar coated. If it ends up being like, oh, this is a PG-13 movie, I'm like, oh, I'll add it to the watch
But,
list,
like,
but I may not.
Stand By Me might have been a PG-13 movie, and that was great.
I think Stand by Me is rated R.
Was it? I mean, there's, like yeah,
I'm not saying PG-13 movies are not good. Stand by Me is rated R.
yeah.
Um, but again, if people are alluding to that this is a horrifying story and like horrifying does not equate to me like PG-13. It's
Yeah,
sort
no,
of
no,
could be
definitely.
watered down.
We'll see. So, the comment we're gonna leave our listeners, is what is your favorite movie based on a Stephen King story? And there are a lot of them,
A
and
lot.
a lot. And some of the ones that you have seen, you might not even know are based on Stephen King stories. The Mist,
Yeah, it's yeah, like
Skeleton,
yeah,
yeah,
The Green Mile.
yeah,
Yeah,
uh,
he's this seems like it kind of falls in his what sort of category?
repertoire. I
Yeah,
mean, his.
like
I think it's. I feel it feels like well, in the Stand by Me, the like a lost group of people trying to do something big. I mean, it's all sort of hero's journey in a way, um, because each one of these people is and I think this is what we don't get in the trailer, but I think is going to come out in the movie is like, why are each of these people doing this walk? Like, it's not just about the money. Or if it's about the money, then what does that money do for their family? Like, are they, they're doing this because they're trying to support their family or something happened or they feel like they're not going to make a mark in the world and they're trying to leave a mark or like I think that's where this story is gonna get deep, and I think that's what Stephen King does really well. So I don't know, whatever genre that is.
Do you have, like, a favorite?
A favorite Stephen King?
Yeah, that's been adapted to either TV or movie.
I mean, Stand By Me and Shawshank Redemption are up there for me, and for different
Mhm,
reasons. How
got
about
it.
you?
When in the early '90s, he had, like, a run, like, Sleepwalkers, It, the TV movie, and
Yeah,
I feel like there was another one, and I hadn't at the time, I'd never read those stories, those books,
yeah,
but they all kind of, like, ended the same way that, like, there's at the end, there's just, like, this big monster at the end, and I'm like, "What? Is this, like, his shtick?" I thought when I was younger, I was like, "Is this his shtick where Stephen King's movies and books just end with, like, a big monster at the end?" And I kinda had to not to be scared, not to scare myself to reduce my fear of those movies or what I was watching, I would make fun of what I was watching, like,
uh-huh.
"Oh, it's just a big monster in a suit. You can see the zipper, blah, blah, blah." And that was a way to sort of like make
Yeah, yeah.
myself not so scared. But I think one of my, I guess, favorite would be Pet Cemetery,
Oh,
the original.
ugh.
But then also jokingly, Maximum Overdrive. Are you familiar with that
I don't
movie?
even know that one.
It's not based on, I don't think it's based on any of his stories.
Okay, so that might not fit within our question
But
there,
but but
Angel.
but 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 he wrote it
Oh.
and directed it. It's his
Oh.
first and only movie that he's directed.
Huh.
Here, let me send you the trailer and maybe it'll ring a bell. But basically, it's about a group of people who try to survive when machines start to come alive and become homicidal.
Okay.
Emilio Estevez stars in it.
Oh.
It's ridiculous. You have to watch the trailer, and if you can, watch the movie. I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
got to
you
check
send
it
it to
out.
me. We'll put in the
Uh,
description.
but that would be my sort of second choice for Stephen King.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah. I mean, because there's so many, it's you have a lot of options.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got our normal poll. How are you seeing this movie? Hard passing. What are your thoughts? As well as always, if you enjoy, please subscribe, throw in a rating, any of all that. And as always, thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening.